Some of you last week did not tell me why the one shape that you, there it is, the one shape that you pulled off did not belong. Like you said, the first triangle didn't belong, but you didn't tell me why it didn't belong. Does that make sense? You have to tell me why it didn't belong. Like last week, that first triangle didn't belong because it was a right triangle, or it was an isosceles triangle. The other two went together because they were equilateral triangles or acute triangles. So the mistake being, you didn't tell me why it didn't belong compared to why these two went together. So you have to describe why this doesn't belong and why these two belong together. Does that make sense? So there's got to be description here and description here. Does that make sense? Okay. So as we take a look at this one that's finally popping up, as it's finally popping up, buttons aren't wanting to go work today.
We need a custodian to the 6th grade hallway to Mrs. Collett's room. Thank you.
Be glad we're in this room and not that room, right? All right. Yeah, what's it doing there? We haven't even been there this morning.
No, like I left it on
Monday, not Tuesday.
Yeah, make it quick. Get your math up. Remember to circle your math terms. That was one thing some of you forgot to do last week, circling your math terms. Remember that this list up here is a beginning list. You are not limited to that list. That's just some suggested words to use. So let's take a look at the three shapes that we are starting with. The three shapes that we're starting with. What one shape would be different than the other two, and how are the other two alike? What would put them in the same category?
The triangle and the one in the middle have sides with a circle right here.
All right. Any other options?
The circle is diagonal because the other two are polygons. Wait, no, the middle one's diagonal because the other two are polygons.
Interesting you use that term polygon. What is a polygon? It is made up of what? Ezra.
Made up of sides.
It has sides. It's a closed figure made up of segments. So if we do use that term polygons, which one is a polygon?
The triangle and the one in the middle.
Is this a polygon?
Yes, because it has two sides.
Are they all sides that are segments? No. So is this a polygon?
No.
No. So how many polygons do we have?
Two. One.
One. The triangle is a polygon. The other two are not because they do not have segments for all their sides. Okay? So we can use that as our definition. The triangle does not belong because the other two are not polygons while the triangle is. And then we need to define what a polygon is because most of you couldn't tell me what a polygon was to begin with, right? So if you just use the term polygon, most people are going to go, oh, whatever that means. You need to define what it is. All right? Okay? So here we go. And for some reason, these buttons are not. Did you guys see me touch that?
Yeah.
Yep, and it didn't work, did it? All right. So the triangle is a polygon with segments or side and is a closed figure. The second shape. And the oval are curved and are not polygons. So it describes why the triangle is a polygon. It describes why the other two are not polygons. It separates them into two categories. Does that make sense? It connects these two, and it tells why this one is the outlier. I want you to circle the one that you are including as the outcast, the one that doesn't belong. Okay? So is this worth 2 points now?
No.
No, why not? Lane.
So let's write the math thing or circle.
Okay, what math terms do we have here? Give us one.
Oh.
Polygon. And once you've circled it once, you do not need to circle it again.
Segment.
Segment. Anything else?
Triangle.
Anything else? Adam?
Oval.
Anything else? Yeah.
Something.
What?
Something.
We could. Anything else?
Curve.
Not necessarily. Okay. Sides we could. And that's probably it. Probably it. Okay. All right. Questions? Again, make sure you describe and that you use terminology. Okay? Why is this one different than the other two, and why are the other two alike? Yes?
Can we go for like the name of them and the reasons why they're together this time?
Okay, this doesn't have any particular name. This one did. This is an oval. Okay? If this had a particular name, yes, you have to name it. But there is no particular name for this. Okay? So because there's no particular name, you can't name it. All right?
How can we just list the differences?
What?
Do we not have to list the differences like we did last time?
We did. The triangle's a polygon, and we described what a polygon was. The difference is that these two are curved and not polygons.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we didn't list it in the triangle like we did last
Oh, and say the stuff. We did that last time so you guys could start seeing.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To be helpful information. Okay? All right? And because, like, this isn't even a shape of any particular name, there's not really, there's nothing really to list about it, you know what I'm saying? When they're all polygons, you're going to want to start making lists that would help you start seeing similarities and differences. Because this isn't a named shape, I don't know what we can say about it, you know? We could, like, list things like there's curves and that kind of stuff. That's really about all we can say about it. Okay? Yes?
We could have done the middle one is hard, but the two other ones have names.
Okay, all right.
So it's curved, it's not a polygon.
Correct. If it has curves in it, it's not a polygon because the definition of a polygon is it has segments for sides and it's a closed figure. Okay? Anything else on that? Anybody? Okay. So as we take a look at the others, here's where you want to start making some lists, okay? Things that you notice about them. And then that will help you determine what they have that is alike and different, okay? Questions? This is due on Friday. Make sure you use complete sentences. Make sure you're circling your vocab. Spelling needs to be correct. Okay? Any questions? Yes. We're going to do that tomorrow. We're backing everything up again. Okay. Anything else? You had all day yesterday, Jonathan, to get it done. I wouldn't know why it wouldn't already be done.
Today for Foxtrot, we're gonna have, Mr. Kaufman here.
It's Wednesday, so you're going to go ahead and have Mrs. Kaufman. Friday, though, we're going to switch, and you will have me to make up for missing yesterday. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's Friday, we're switching. Okay. Anything else? All right. Good, it's now time for the assessment then.